He is one of the first choices I made. He is the hero. He is one of the strongest men in the world, a master of all forms of hockey. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Spenmo Rex Speaks. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. It means a lot more than you know. You see the shirt. You see the figures. It's a One Piece episode. I saw this going around the internet. I saw a couple other people do it where they built their Tournament of Power team out of One Piece characters. So if you're not familiar, in Dragon Ball Super, they have the Tournament of Power where you have the best 10 fighters from every universe. They come together and they fight for the fate of their universe. So it's basically a top 10 ranking. But this time, I'm going to do One Piece characters. And a little stipulation here. It's got to be people that are alive. They got to be alive. I'm not talking all time, so no Whitebeard, no Rocks, no Roger, none of those guys, because I'm doing strictly people who are alive, canon people, so no Douglas Bullet, but it's going to be top 10 of living characters to where the anime is, not where the manga is, because I'm not going to spoil it for some people, but we don't know if some people are alive or dead in the manga right now. Some important characters, some people who are on this list. So we're going to do where the anime is at right now. And first things first, I'm going to get the honorable mentions out of the way. So these are guys who didn't make the list, even though they could have, they should have, possibly be on some of your lists, but they're not on mine. Didn't make the cut. Sorry. You're kaputs. And right now, I'm saying it, Big Mom, Kaido, counting them as dead. They fell in a volcano. We don't know where they're at. Kaido would probably be able to survive it. We don't know, but I'm counting them as dead, so they're not on the list. My honorable mentions right now. I got Kobe, Captain Kobe, the new hero of the Marines, Captain Kobe, just off the list. I think you see what he's doing with the hockey usage and different things like that. He's definitely a banger. He's following in Garp's footsteps, but as of right now, he just missed the top 10 in my eyes. Another guy who is even closer than Kobe is Sabo. I hate to do it, but Sabo is off this list as of right now. I know it's tough, man. Sabo's got, obviously he's got Ace's Devil Fruit. He's master hockey usage, both Conqueror's hockey and Armament hockey, but I don't know. I had to put him off. I had to put him off this list as of right now because you'll see when I get into it. It fills up fast. This list fills up fast. And then I also have Katakuri as an honorable mention. Maybe when he gets brought back into it as a part of Luffy's Grand Fleet, possibly, he'll get put back on this list. But as of right now, Katakuri is just off this list. I also have Magellan as an honorable mention where, you know, if it's 15 minutes of fighting, yeah, he'd be on there because he's OP and his Devil Fruit is OP, but they literally nerfed him. They're like, oh, bro's got to take a shit all the time. So he can't be on the list for me. I have Doffy as an honorable mention. Obviously, you know, Conqueror's hockey, Armament hockey, dude masters. He knows all forms of hockey. It's extremely impressive. His Devil Fruit's pretty broken, but as of right now, and he's my favorite villain in the entire series. Like, I love Doflamingo. I think he's one of the most well-written characters in One Piece, but I have him off the list as of right now. And the final honorable mention is Akainu, because fuck him, man. Like, he's not making my list. Fuck that guy. He can't play nice. And I know, Frieza's in the Tournament of Power. I already got my Frieza equivalent on this list. And I can't have too much evil motherfuckers here. Now let's get into it. Top 10 bangers in One Piece. Top 10 Tournament of Power. I'm building a Tournament of Power roster out of One Piece characters. And I broke it down into subgroups. So for the first three, I did the old heads. The old heads were my first three that I picked for. This is your Master Roshis. Like, if you've watched Super. My first three, I got Garp. Come on, Garp, the hero of the Marines, the only one Roger realizes, like, he can run the ones with me, and he is still extremely, extremely powerful, even though he's old and retired. Garp is definitely on my list. He is one of the first choices I made. He is the hero. He is one of the strongest men in the world, a master of all forms of hockey, and I love Garp, so I got him on my list. Another one of the old heads, Sengoku. Broken Devil Fruit. It's a mythical zone. It's, you know, the human Buddha. So, like, he's got to be on there. Again, if you're realized by the King of Pirates as one of the biggest bangers, then I'm putting you on this list. There is no arguments. I will not have any slander of Garp or Sengoku. Because Roger literally said, like, those are the two motherfuckers that can do something. Those are the two guys that'll do something to me. Like, you want to fight me? You're trying to come for me? Bring Garp and Sengoku, and then maybe we'll see about it. So I got Garp and Sengoku. And the third man to wrap up the old heads on this list is Silver Israeli, man. You got to put him out there. He's a master of all forms of Haki. He was the right hand of the Pirate King. Still, pre-flashback, easily parried Kizaru. And, you know, Kizaru's been getting slapped around in the manga recently, if you caught up to that. But still, pre-time skip, didn't even use Haki and parried Kizaru easily. So I got Rayleigh on that list as well. And now we go into my second subclass of characters of my Tournament of Power of One Piece characters. And this is motherfuckers in their prime. This is the middle-aged motherfuckers. This is the older dudes. This is the guys that are right in the heart of being bangers, probably at the top of their game right now. And at number one, you know I gotta go with Shanks, bro. You know I gotta put Shanks on there. He is one of the strongest in the world as of right now. His Haki mastery is undoubtable. We saw him bitch slap Kid across the fucking one-shot that motherfucker. Spoiler, sorry. But Shanks has to be on there. He's a master of all things Haki. We saw his Haki send admirals in fear. I wanted to put Ben Beckham on this list as well, but we just haven't seen enough out of him. We don't know if he's a Devil Fruit user. He's not a Devil Fruit user because I don't think any of the red-haired pirates are, but I wanted to put Ben Beckham on here, but I couldn't do it out of good faith. Speaking of, we don't know, I put this motherfucker on here out of lore alone, and that is Dragon. Like, this guy's gotta be that man. I know we haven't seen him fight. We haven't seen much. We think that he has one of the mythical zone fruits. If you look at the Skypiea arc and what's going on there with the gods they worship, the Serpent of Storms is the one that is said Dragon has. There's a lot of tinfoil theories about what Dragon has, his devil fruit, and what's going on, but he is the son of Garp. He is the biggest villain, enemy number one of the world government. He has a crazy devil fruit that involves storm calling somehow, and he's Luffy's dad. Like, he's the leader of the Revolutionary Army. I know we haven't seen him fight, but this dude is a top 10. He's top 10 off of lore alone. So give me Dragon, Monkey D. Dragon. On top of him, this is where, pause. This is my Frieza of the group. And it's Blackbeard. Like, you gotta put Blackbeard in there. I understand. Like, he might be looking out for himself, but he's got two broken devil fruit powers. Like, the Quake fruit and the Dark fruit. He's got two broken devil fruits. You have to put him on this list. I understand that he doesn't play nice, but like Frieza, in the Tournament of Power, Frieza's like, all right, this is for the good of the universe. If I want to stay alive, I'm going to have to do this. And I believe Blackbeard looks out for number one at all times. So if it means his life is on the line, he's going to fight with these guys and he's going to take care of business. So I do have Blackbeard on here just because of how broken his devil fruit is. Even though we've seen him get tossed around a couple times. Magellan slight worked him. We got Pacifista slight working him. It is the combination of King and Mihawk. We'll see, but I had to put Blackbeard on here just because of his devil fruit. Speaking of Mihawk, he is next on my list. He is the last one of the prime category. We did the old heads, and now the last person in the prime, I'm putting Mihawk on this list just because he is the strongest swordsman in the world. The man is a monster. The man is broken. You see him go toe-to-toe with people. He has the lore of fighting Shanks to a draw. He is respected by every single banger on this list. You look at Dofi's scared of him. You look at all of the other warlords of the sea are scared of him. And he was ready to run the ones with Whitebeard. Like, at the war arc, Whitebeard was pulling up, and Mihawk was like, all right, bet, let's run this. Went to attack him. The Cross Guild, I love how it's going right now with Crocodile, Buggy, and Mihawk, but Mihawk being the strongest swordsman, I had to put him on this list. And now finally, the last category are the givens. And there's two of them. There are two givens. And the two givens are Luffy and Zoro. Like, you cannot argue them. They are the strongest of the worst generation. They both go toe-to-toe against motherfuckers they shouldn't. I know if you don't read the manga, but Luffy's one-shot Kizaru twice now. Like, and Zoro is crazy with Enma. They both have all three forms of Haki. They are both advanced Armament Haki users. They are both Conqueror's Haki users. You have to put them in this. Obviously, you have the Sun God Nika with Luffy, which makes him one of the strongest characters in the series, even though he's lower on this list. He's going to get there eventually. And then with Zoro, Enma is broken on top of being advanced armament and a Conqueror's Haki user. So Zoro and Luffy are on this list. They are 8 and 9 on this list for me. And then at number 10, this is the final area. This was the wild card. I gave you the honorable mentions already with Kobe and Sabo and Katakuri and Dofi and Magellan. But I think there was one main proponent of this last guy, and you need a doctor. You need a healer. You need someone who can go out there and make some things happen. And so it came down to two characters for me. When I need a doctor on this crew. I need somebody who's going to heal, somebody who's going to make things happen. That being either Law or Marco Phoenix. And I ended up going with Marco Phoenix. I know this was the toughest decision for me, was this 10th spot between Law or Marco Phoenix. And if you want to argue Law or you want to argue Marco Phoenix, I'm listening to both of them. I don't think there's a wrong decision here between either of them, because Law obviously has a broken Devil Fruit ability, and he's shown he can go ones with Emperors. He's shown he can go ones with Yonko. Like he rolled him in Big Mom's fight was dope. You see him try to fight Kaido, but it ain't worth it. But I just think Marco Phoenix, on top of being a better combat doctor, like he's flying around fighting wall healing people, he's making sure things happen. I think his Devil Fruit is a mythical zone, so that gives him a boost. Neither of them have shown the ability to use Conqueror's Haki. Law does have the Will of D, but Marco Phoenix, being the right hand of Whitebeard, having the better, I think, ability to be a combat doctor, is what made him slip in here over Law for me. Pause. But that is what I'm doing with my Tournament of Power team for One Piece. I have Garp, Sengoku, Rayleigh, Shanks, Dragon off of lore alone, I will admit, Blackbeard, Mihawk, Luffy, Zoro, and Marco Phoenix. I broke it down into 3 categories. One is the old heads. So you look at my One Piece Tournament of Power team. Let's start with the old heads. We've got Garp, Sengoku, and Rayleigh. The second grouping is Prime. There's some dudes in their prime. And that's where you have Shanks, you have Mihawk, you have Blackbeard, and you have Monkey D. Dragon. Monkey D. Dragon. And then you have the Given, which are Luffy and Zoro. Luffy and Zoro are Given. And then finally you end it with the wild card, which is Marco Phoenix. So those are my top 10 bangers. That's my One Piece Tournament of Power team. Let me know in the comments who you got, who you think should have made it, who you think shouldn't have made it, and who you think is the biggest banger in all of One Piece.